This is Sunrise Extra, streaming live on Wave Now.
Hey, good morning. It is Thursday morning. Hope your day is off to a great start, and it feels great out there. It's just going to continue at least for the next day or two.
Yeah, this morning a little bit warmer, so you didn't have your bright yellow coat on today.
It was the bumblebee yesterday moving through the newsroom.
I was like, that's yellow.
That's me. I like the bright colors. It's fun.
I'm with you. I love that yellow, actually.
I just have it just in case. You never know. Early in the morning.
You're going to need to pull that out on Sunday when it's gloomy and windy and rainy. I feel like that's the vibe. Just
cheer everyone up.
The sunshine.
I will.
We love that. We see plenty of sunshine today, but we're starting off with some clouds, and the clouds have kept us a little bit warmer. So we've gotten used to waking up to temperatures in the 40s and low 50s. Right now, we're about 10 degrees warmer than that in most spots because of the extra clouds that are drifting through. A couple of sprinkles trying to come along with them, some drizzle here and there for portions of southern Indiana, but overall, it's just about the cloudy start to the day. Once we head into the afternoon hours, the clouds should be gone by that point, allowing us to climb into the upper 60s and low 70s for your afternoon highs. And while today is quiet, the weekend is looking active. The alert day is still in place for mainly Sunday now. We've kind of shifted everything into Sunday because it looks like things are going to be moving in a little bit slower, but still watching that potential for strong storms and gusty winds and cooler temperatures behind those storms as well. Rob?
Definitely a feeling of fall over the weekend, but if you're getting out there today, no rain, no wind to deal with. It's a beautiful day to get out and take a ride, at least for now. At 7:01, we're taking a look at the metro, and no accidents to report right now, no slowdowns or tie-ups. The green is a good sign. We hope it stays like that throughout the morning, but we have a zero crash report to tell you about at this hour. Otherwise, your drive time is looking pretty much as typically expected this time of morning. We'll keep an eye on it and let you know if anything changes. Back over to you, Olivia.
Thank you, Rob. Breaking this morning, a teenager is in jail accused of shooting and killing a Louisville 14-year-old. 18-year-old Elijah Gray is charged with murder and tampering with physical evidence. Police say Gray shot and killed a 14-year-old on Bulger Court in the Algonquin neighborhood back in June. Police didn't release a motive for the shooting. Gray is scheduled to be in court this morning for arraignment at 9 o'clock.
A Louisville Metro police officer has resigned from the department after being involved in a deadly crash. Officer Alyssa Beagle was under investigation for a deadly wreck on Fern Valley Road in April. Dash cam video shows her speeding without her lights and sirens on when she collided with 61-year-old Charles Briscoe when he turned in front of her, and he died just minutes away from his apartment. That night, police were responding to a medical call asking for officers to approach with lights and sirens. Officer Beagle never made it to that scene. She was later put on paid leave. Charles Briscoe's family told us, though, that they think the crash could have been avoided if the officer had her emergency lights on.
Even if it was at 45 miles an hour, still think my dad would be alive. I just think, going that fast and then, immediate impact killed my dad. My daddy was a great guy. He would give you the shirt off his back. He was a real nice guy. Anybody that knows my dad would always have nice things to say about him.
When his family spoke to us in April, they wanted accountability. Chief Paul Humphrey issued a 30-day suspension for Officer Beagle, but LMPD says before those 30 days were up, she resigned. A grand jury declined to indict her on any criminal charges.
Today, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg is set to make an announcement about the Office of Inspector General. Edward Harness investigates complaints and reviews practices for LMPD. Harness signed a 4-year contract following the social justice protest of 2020. That contract is up by the end of November. Supporters like the Civilian Review and Accountability Board and the NAACP have been asking Mayor Greenberg if he plans to reappoint Harness. Harness has previously said there is a lack of responsiveness from LMPD. He recommends investigations into policy violations and alleged discrimination. Today's announcement didn't have any other details indicating which decision Mayor Greenberg will make. That'll be at 9:30 this morning, and we'll bring you the details both on air and online at wave3.com. Louisville police have continued to push that crime in the city is dropping, and now they're backing up the claims with data on homicide arrests and gun seizures. Deputy Chief Emily McKinley says they're averaging 6 seizures of illegal firearms a week, and it's playing a part in the 25% dip in homicides compared to last year. She says the department is seeing improvement in the city's sustained focus improvement areas. Those are 5 neighborhoods Chief Paul Humphrey labeled as the hardest hit by crime.
They'll do a detail of let's walk the beat, or let's walk around, let's drive around, let's talk to people. And throughout the course of those interactions, they're coming in contact with people who are illegally possessing these firearms.
Despite the progress, though, Louisville remains on pace to reach a 6th straight year of more than 100 homicides.
The Fairdale Fire Protection District wants to expand the way it saves lives in the community. This as Emergency Medical Services Division is now a step closer to reality.
The division is currently being established and will begin operations in the near future. Wave News reporter Rob Wells is here with a closer look at the plans. Rob?
Olivia, department leaders say this expansion demonstrates the district's commitment to enhancing public safety and life-saving medical care. The EMS division will provide 24/7, 365-day coverage, staffed by certified and trained personnel ready to respond to medical emergencies. While Fairdale has always offered citizens fire services, until this point, it's had to depend on neighboring communities to provide emergency transport to local hospitals and medical centers. I spoke with emergency responders heading up this new initiative. For them, it's not only about serving the needs of the growing community, but also personal.
I've lived in Fairdale my whole life. My mom passed away in 2021, and it took 35 minutes for an EMS service to arrive on scene. My fire district made the run and did CPR and actually had 11 shocks by an AED on scene. So a 35-minute response time for them to get there and pick her up and take her. What could that have been like if they were there sooner?
The chief adding that they'll be getting 3 new emergency squads. They'll also be hiring and training a lot of staff over the next few months, and service should launch sometime early next year. Now, as far as funding, the chief telling me the department took out a near $4 million loan to get the EMS service up and off the ground. She adds that EMS service will be offered for a year. Then Fairdale voters will have a 0.18% tax increase to offset the cost. That's roughly 8 cents per $1,000 of a home's total value. Shannon, back over to you.
Thanks, Rob. Today, U.S. lawmakers are expected to vote on a bill to fund the Pentagon as efforts to fund the entire government continue to fail. A House-passed spending bill to reopen the government has failed to vote 9 times. As a result, this is the 5th longest shutdown in the country's history we're still in. It's now day 16. Democrats are pushing for extension of health care subsidies in the spending bill. Republicans want to keep spending at current levels. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he'll attempt to advance an individual year-long appropriations bill to fund the Pentagon. It will need 60 votes to pass. If you plan to eat out at a restaurant in the coming weeks, you might see some temporary price hikes or extra charges on the menu.
Food costs are increasing, but this time it has nothing to do with tariffs. Wave News reporter Meredith Lee has details on why it could be more expensive to eat out and how long it could last.
Changes could be on the menu for some restaurants as they gear up for a potential shortage of fresh ingredients.
It's an industry problem.
Owner of local food distributor Steve's Produce says this time of year is the tail end of the growing season for California's crops and is just ahead of Arizona's winter growing season. But this year, especially challenging growing conditions have put the industry in a pinch. Suppliers now warning that the quality of produce is down.
Really bad weather, high humidity, heat. They've had an insect problem. So it's cut their supplies short.
And he says less supply is driving up prices.
Iceberg and romaine in particular, cauliflower and broccoli have doubled in the past 2 weeks. So a couple of weeks ago, lettuce was close to $30 a cart, iceberg. Now it's 60.
Steve says he and other small distributors are opting to eat some of those higher costs in order to stay competitive in a market ruled by giants like Sysco and Gordon Food. That is, if they can get a hold of enough supply to fill clients' orders at all. Some restaurants now considering a backup plan. Owner of Sam's Food and Spirits says they may need to shop at grocery stores to fill in the gaps while maintaining their current prices and expect they may have to raise their prices for customers in the future. Steve says though he expects some losses in the coming weeks, it should only be temporary.
And that's what's good about this. It's short term and it'll change.
Customers should be aware that while the quality of produce is down for those coming 4 to 6 weeks, they are still safe to eat, and any price adjustments on the menu will likely go back down after the transition to Arizona's produce.
As we reported, Meade County officials voted no to a proposed data center. A lot of residents were opposed to that. Some of their concerns were about water quality and air quality. A U of L toxicology expert, Dr. David Hines, says water quality mostly impacts people who live in the immediate area, but air air quality could have regional consequences. Dr. Hines says the true impact of a data center project is hard to estimate, especially when it's not clear what company is coming and for what reason.
We certainly want to protect people's health, but there are economic costs to harming people's health as well, and you can calculate those in dollars. So when the data center proposes all this new revenue, you can factor that against the possible costs, which are unknown unless they disclose to you what they're going to do and how big they're going to be and all of these factors.
Dr. Hines says we shouldn't expect these projects to go away. Data centers can create jobs, tax revenue, and support businesses and attract other tech companies to the area.
JCPS is working on innovative ways to incorporate AI into the classroom. JCPS is exploring and integrating generative AI. They say it won't serve as a replacement for human intellect or educators, but instead a tool to enhance learning and teaching. The district is already using tools like Google Gemini and Microsoft Copilot. Another way they're using AI is for school safety. JCPS is moving forward with installing weapons detection systems in every middle and high school.
Coming up, maybe you're still looking for that perfect Halloween costume. We're going to get some ideas from Caulfield.
Late News reporter Marissa Burke has been there all morning trying on different looks. She'll show us what they have to offer right after the break.
I'm hungry now. In Paducah, one of the city's most beloved barbecue spots is celebrating a major milestone. Starnes Barbecue, known for their signature sauce and smoked pork, has been serving the community for 70 years. It's a family affair. Many generations of the Starnes family have worked and owned the restaurant. Tim Starnes, who now runs it, is a third-generation owner. Do you hear my stomach growling? It actually is. He says the restaurant's success comes from more than just food. He believes it's the strong ties to the community built through connections and consistency, and that's why customers just keep coming back.
We depend on relationships one with another, not just within ourselves, but across the counter as well. If we can maintain a relationship with a customer base, we can sustain, we don't have to worry about the finances, that'll be there. So that's been our focus for years.
And the menu has stayed simple and true to its roots, with pork and ham leading the way, all topped with their signature sauce created by his grandfather.
That sounds so good. Well, here's something that doesn't sound so good. RSV season is here. That's when the threat of viruses like COVID-19, the flu, and RSV looms across the country. To avoid getting sick, vaccine recommendations play a key role. So to prevent COVID-19, officials say you should always talk to your doctor before you get the shot. People 6 months and older can get it, and that includes includes pregnant women. For the flu, the vaccine is recommended for anyone 6 months and older. RSV vaccines are recommended every 2 years for adults 75 and up. And you can also wash your hands and use hand sanitizer to stand against RSV. Make sure you're doing that all year, actually.
Right,
Yes.
yeah, always. It's always important to wash your hands.
Yeah, especially right now, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. And for anybody getting ready for the day, washing your hands, yes, is very important, but also finding a jacket. That might not be a bad idea as we continue to keep an eye on some cooler temperatures around the region for today. Now, this morning, we're starting warmer than what we've seen all week. We're watching quite a few clouds overhead on our Kentucky Mesonet cameras, and that is why our temperatures are really in the 50s in most spots. Now, these clouds continue to drift into and through our area to start off the day, but they're not going to last all day. Your temperatures right now in the upper 50s and the low 60s. And even as we have, a little bit more time before the sun comes up, these are not going to budge a whole lot. Once we head into the afternoon, though, it's all about the sunshine then, and we'll easily climb into the upper 60s and low 70s for later on today. Once we get into tonight, we'll return to the 40s for your lows as some upper level clouds move back in. These are going to stick around throughout the day on your Friday as we climb back into the mid 70s. Some low 80s showing up on Saturday. Woo! Saturday is going to be certainly a lot warmer, but also an alert day kicks in Saturday night. So I'm talking as we approach midnight, this is when we'll see some of these storms moving in. Most of your Saturday will be warm and dry. Once we get into Saturday night, that's when the storms arrive. Some of them could be on the strong side with the damaging wind threat, mainly for those of you in southern Indiana and for those of you in Kentucky west of 65. Once we get throughout the rest of the day on Sunday, we're going to gradually dry out. But once we start to see even some sunshine coming our way for the second half of your Sunday, that wind is going to pick up. And we have a couple of waves of wind that we have to watch. The first one arrives with the front itself early Sunday morning. This is when we can see 30 to 40 miles per hour gusts. This is going to be outside of those stronger storms that could see 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts embedded in those. Now, once the rain clears and we start to dry out Sunday afternoon, this is another wave of wind with 35 to 45 mile per hour gusts possible then. Now, your Monday, quiet, the wind relaxes, but it picks right back up on Tuesday with another system moving through our region then. And that system on Tuesday will not only bring that potential for more of those 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts, but also will bring a few more showers into our region. Behind that Tuesday front, it's going to be a big dip temperature-wise. So a wild ride over the next 10 days. Highs in the low 80s on Saturday. On Sunday, we're talking about highs in the 50s and low 60s. So a chilly day for sure. Back into the mid to upper 60s on Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday. And by the end of next week, we're talking upper 50s and low 60s. So get every part of your closet ready for the next 10 days.
No joke. Okay. Well, maybe you're getting your Halloween costume together. It's just 2 weeks away, and there's a place in town that you can go.
Yeah, for more than a century, Caulfield's has been the go-to for something for everyone. And Wave News reporter Marissa Burke has been there all morning, and she's showing us what they have there.
It's that time of year again where everyone is trying to figure out what they want to be for Halloween. And you can see I am none other than Cowboy Carter, a.k.a. Beyonce. And I'm here with Tracy Caulfield.
Yes.
With Caulfields. And you look amazing.
Thank you. I'm dressed in the 1920s, and Caulfields has been around since the 1920s, actually 1920. And your current day. So we've been here all these years, 105 years.
Wow. And you guys have been helping people put together amazing costumes like this all of that time.
That's right. That's right. And you've got, we put several things together for you to make you be Beyonce. There's not a Beyonce costume out there, but we just put things together that we have here in store to make you look that way.
Because you have such an array of costumes and accessories. You never know what you're going to find because you guys just have so many things.
Thank you. We try. We try.
And so we talk about all the things that you have. You also have a lot of things that you're doing, and especially this weekend.
Right. So this weekend we have movie night. So we'll have Bride of Frankenstein showing twice on Friday, twice on Saturday, 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock is the showtime. Georgetown Drive-In is going to come over and help us out with this. We're going to have concessions. It's going to be a really fun night. Tickets go on sale at the door at 7 o'clock on on Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have Eddie Munster coming. So Butch Patrick, that played Eddie Munster, is going to come in and sign autographs for the people here.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. Are costumes encouraged, required?
You know what? Costumes are always encouraged here at Caulfield. So absolutely dress up if you'd like.
And we have a couple of other costumes that we want to show you guys. What do we have here?
So we've got a 1960s. This is Bree and a Go-Go Girl. And then we've got Kelly in the 1980s workout gear.
Oh, gotta love that. So there's such an array of options for people. There's something for everyone. I say that because it is so true.
Thank you. We try.
So guys, if you see a costume that you may be interested in, or you have a couple of ideas, you can visit their website, and that's where you also find the list of events and all the things you need to know, and that is Caulfield.com. Marissa Burke, Wave News, or as I should say, Cowboy Rissa.
Cowboy Rissa, love it. Thank you. The most popular movie ever streamed on Netflix is hitting the theaters again.
We'll tell you where you can catch the animated musical film right after the break. You can hunt for ghosts and enjoy some spirits at the same time at Buffalo Trace Distillery's new Halloween experience. The distillery will host Night at the Distillery starting next week. It's a self-guided walking trail where you can learn ghostly tales about Buffalo Trace. There will also be cocktail tastings and live entertainment. You can even win a chance to take a tour with a professional paranormal investigation team. They'll take you through some of the distillery's most haunted buildings, and you can sign up for the giveaway right now on the Buffalo Trace website. And if you're looking for something a little less haunted to do on Halloween, K-pop Demon Hunters will return to Cinemark theaters on Halloween weekend.
The global sensation is Netflix's most watched movie of all time. It earned $18 million during its first theatrical run in U.S. theaters, and now it's backed by popular demand for Halloween weekend. You can catch the sing-along version of the hit film from October 31st through November 2nd. The tickets for the shows go on sale this Friday.
You should do the sing-along version.
Well, I haven't watched the movie yet, but I know that song Golden. They play it all the time on the radio.
Yeah, you were singing along to it a little bit earlier.
Yes, you've never heard it.
I've never heard of the movie. I am just behind.
It is hugely popular.
Well, I keep saying if it's on Netflix and it's not a rom-com,
you have no idea.
Yeah, no.
Well, maybe you watch it.
Maybe I can.
Yeah,
maybe I can.
We'll be right back.
This Wave News Update is sponsored by Oxmoor Auto Group.
Good morning. I'm Shannon Kogan. New this morning, a teenager's in jail accused of shooting and killing a Louisville 14-year-old. 18-year-old Elijah Gray is charged with murder and tampering with physical evidence. Police say Gray shot and killed the 14-year-old on Bulger Court in the Algonquin neighborhood in June. Police did not release a motive for the shooting. Gray is scheduled to be in court this morning for arraignment at 9. Here's meteorologist Tawana Andrew. And does this nice weather continue?
Oh, we're going to keep some nice temperatures in our forecast this morning, though, looking a little bit spooky. This is the clouds that are overhead. These are the clouds that are overhead right now. We're seeing the sunlight trying to come up over the horizon through those clouds. And while we are dealing with them overhead right now, they are not going to stay with us all day. These clouds help to keep us warmer overnight. This is why we're sitting in the 50s and low 60s this morning. But once they clear for the afternoon, it's all about the sunshine as we return to the upper 60s and low 70s for your afternoon highs. Tonight, some upper level clouds return to our region. We'll watch for temperatures dropping down into the 40s. Tomorrow, quiet, warm, and windy on your Saturday before we have to deal with some strong storms potentially overnight Saturday into early Sunday morning. An alert day still in place. Rob.
Tawana, thanks so much. If you're heading out this morning at 7:28, some good news. No major tie-ups or accidents to talk about this morning. We are keeping an eye on I-65. This is at Fern Valley Road. You see the taillights backing up there. Traffic getting a little heavier out there, but no construction zones, no accidents to talk about at this hour. And that's certainly a good thing. Also keeping an eye on any other construction throughout the area. We'll let you know if that's going to tie up things this morning. Otherwise, having a pretty smooth commute for you. If we see the conditions changing, we'll let you know. Otherwise, we'll send things now back to the Today Show. Make it a great Thursday morning.
Good morning. Happy Thursday to you. Hope your day is off to a great start. We have plenty of headlines to get to this morning. We're going to hear directly from U of L men's basketball coach Pat Kelsey as we are just a week away from getting our first look at the Cards team this season. Hearing some great things about him. We'll have to see about that. Plus, we have plenty of national headlines to get to. But starting locally, a Chinese national is charged as part of a gift card tampering scheme in Louisville and will soon be deported. Tan Long Chen was sentenced to 6 months in prison. He won't spend any more time behind bars, though, because he's been in prison for a year, so he's already served his time. Officials say he's in ICE custody and will be deported next month. Chen is part of a large gift card fraud scheme that involves stealing the cards from retail stores and tampering with them and then placing the altered cards back on the store racks. The goal is customers will eventually put money on those tampered cards, and then criminals will be able to divert and steal those funds. Police say they saw Bob Chen placing gift cards on the rack at the St. Matthew's Kroger store. A man who was pulled from his burning home on Tuesday in Louisville's Newburgh neighborhood has died. That fire happened around 7:45 Tuesday morning on Monticello Road. Family told us the man who was pulled from the home was 73 years old. The coroner hasn't released his name yet. Fern Creek Fire says it could take several weeks for investigators to figure out what sparked that fire. A Kentucky woman was arrested after police say she broke a deputy's nose using his own baton. This happened Monday in Whitley County. 2 deputies tried to arrest 37-year-old Amy Mapes. Deputies responded to a disturbance call of someone allegedly breaking windows at a home. An arrest report says police found Mapes in the backyard with a metal tool in her hand. When she was ordered to drop it, she allegedly took off running across a busy street. Deputies caught up to her in the woods and tried to tase her, but that didn't work. Mapes was taken to the ground and put in handcuffs. That's when she slipped one hand free, and police say she hit and kicked the deputies. She allegedly bit them and even broke the deputy's nose. Both deputies received medical treatment, and after being taken into custody, Mapes told authorities she had AIDS and hepatitis. She's facing a few charges, including assault, fleeing police, and criminal mischief. Today, Metro Council members are expected to vote on a new ordinance that would require you to get your pets microchipped. Microchips are tiny devices placed under a pet's skin to help clinics identify pets and contact their owners if they get lost. Under the ordinance, all dogs and cats that are 3 months old would need to be chipped. Supporters of the proposal say it'll lead to fewer animals spending time in city shelters. Metro Animal Services charges about $25 to microchip pets. The Kentucky Humane Society is gearing up for a project that we're told has been 5 years in the making. They're now asking the community to jump in and help make this a reality. Wave News reporter Julia Richardson has more on the organization's expansion and how it will help them with their mission of saving more pets.
It's the best time possible to do something like this. It's needed for our city and our state. Right now, access to care is very difficult for people.
And KHS President and CEO Alyssa Gray says accessibility to animal care will be one of the main goals with this new facility off of Preston Highway. The 54,000 square foot facility will increase the help they're able to provide.
We will be able to serve 6,000 people between our vet clinic, low-cost clinic, to the public and our caravan.
Gray says being able to take in more animals in general is also essential to their operation.
We will be able to increase our kennels by 30%, so dog and cat spaces. Also our adoptions by 30%, so over 7,000 adoptions a year.
She says shelter overcrowding has become a nationwide issue.
The need is higher than ever due to some of the ramifications of COVID, especially stopping spay-neuter for us 2 months, but nationally, we feel like we lost 2.8 million surgeries across shelters.
The building will also include amenities like an animal food bank and temporary housing for animals displaced after natural disasters or animal cruelty cases.
People need help with paying for medical bills, buying food for their animals, or also just finding pet-friendly housing.
Gray says offering services at the lowest cost possible will also be a priority. The Humane Society says the more options and variety of help that they can provide, the better outcomes will be for people and their animals.
The things that we want to focus on in this new facility is pet retention efforts. So keeping pets in the home, providing them with what they need to make sure they can take care of their animals.
Oh, so cute. Kitty bear. The building will cost $37 million, and the organization has already raised a little over $21 million. So if you're interested in donating, there's a link to find more information on that on wave3.com. They say construction on the new building will start next month. U of L and U of L Health are participating in a clinical trial investigating new pathways for treating strokes. Those are strokes that block a blood vessel in your brain. The clinical trial, known as SISTER, which stands for Strategy for Improving Stroke Treatment Response, will focus on patients who arrive at the emergency department 4.5 to 24 hours after the onset of a stroke. People who meet the criteria will either be administered to an investigational drug or a placebo and then closely monitored. According to the American Stroke Association, more than 750,000 people in the U.S. will have a stroke each year. In Kentucky, strokes are the 5th leading cause of death. And recognizing the signs and symptoms of a stroke can save lives. Healthcare providers have come up with the acronym BFAST to help you remember the common warning signs. BE stands for balance lost and eyes blurring. F means face drooping, A for arm weakness, S for speech difficulty, and T stands for time. So if you or someone around you experiences any of those symptoms, you should seek medical care right away.
Thank you. Congratulations.
The Louisville Fire Department has a new batch of leaders. The department promoted 22 people from supporting staff all the way to colonel. Louisville Fire says the group of newly promoted firefighters will be integral in setting a new standard and tone and continue the department's legacy. Officials say on average, the Louisville Fire Department responds to more than 50,000 calls each year. A big congratulations to them. New this morning, Kentucky's lieutenant governor is warning federal cuts to the Department of Education could impact special education services in the state. Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman says Kentucky receives more than $180 million each year in special education funding. The Department of Education recently laid off nearly all of its special education staff. Coleman says not having those federal resources will harm kids.
The number of families that this is going to impact is bigger than I think most people realize. 1 in 6 Kentucky kids is labeled special needs.
The government's latest layoffs are being challenged in court by the American Federation of Government Employees and other national labor unions. School districts in Hardin County are encouraging more people to sign up to get free books for children. Hardin County Schools, Elizabethtown Independent Schools, and Central Kentucky Community Foundation want families to sign up for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. The program mails free books each month to children from birth to 5 years old. The program is designed to help create a love for reading and learning before kindergarten. All families have to do is sign their kids up on the website to get the books, and they'll be sent directly to their homes. Wave News is a proud supporter of the Imagination Library, and we even helped bring the program to Louisville, and now it's available to children in every Kentucky county. A new face will soon be in charge at Trinity High School. After more than 30 years at the school, Principal Dan Zoller announced his retirement. Dr. Zoller will retire at the end of the school year. He's Trinity's longest-serving principal and the 6th one in the school's history. Zoller began his journey at Trinity in 1991. He became principal in 2004. He developed block scheduling for the school and even expanded elective offerings. The search for the new Trinity principal is underway right now. They say that person will be selected before the start of the next school year. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with some national headlines coming up in just 2 minutes. Well, a heads up to check your pantry because Ben's Original is recalling a limited number of its rice because they may contain small stones. Nobody wants to eat that. The recall applies only for its whole grain brown, long grain white, and long grain and wild ready rice products. They all have a best by date of August 2026. The recalled products were sold to HEB, Target, United Markets, and on Amazon. The company says they may contain small, naturally occurring stones from the rice farm. However, the company says no illnesses or injuries have been reported. Smucker's is suing Trader Joe's over what it claims is a copycat of its Uncrustables sandwiches. The new Trader Joe's product is called Crustless Peanut Butter and Strawberry Jam Sandwiches. In the lawsuit, J.M. Smucker Company claims the competing product violates its trademark for product design and packaging. The suit cites the sandwich's shape and the crimping around the edges. Smucker says the Trader Joe's packaging uses an image for which Smucker holds the trademark for. That shows a sandwich with a bite missing that reveals the interior filling. Smucker's wants Trader Joe's to stop making the product, destroy the remaining stock, and then give profits from any sales over to Smucker's. The National Transportation Safety Board says the deadly implosion of the Titan submersible was caused by, quote, an inadequate engineering process. The board just released its final report on the 2023 disaster. All 5 people were killed when the submersible exploded during a voyage to the Titanic wreckage. The report stated the sub sustained damage during 2 previous dives, and it continued to deteriorate until that fateful last dive. The report also said OceanGate failed to adequately test the Titan, so it did not know its actual strength and durability. The company was found to have flawed real-time monitoring data. As a result, they did not know they should have removed the Titan from service after it was damaged in a previous dive. Bank of America is being sued over its alleged ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The class action lawsuit was filed in federal court on behalf of Jane Doe and other Epstein victims. The Jane Doe plaintiff says she was abused by Epstein over an 8-year period. The lawsuit alleges she was instructed to open an account at the bank, and Epstein and his accountant would transfer money into that account. The lawsuit also alleges the transaction should have been flagged as being suspicious, which banks are required to monitor and report. But the lawsuit says the bank didn't report the suspicious activities until after Epstein died in 2019. A spokesperson for Bank of America declined to comment on the lawsuit. The FAA is investigating after travelers at a Pennsylvania airport heard unauthorized messages Wednesday. The messages included praise for Hamas and threats against President Trump and Israel's prime minister. The audio was played in the Harrisburg International Airport. The hack was also reported in a couple other international airports in British Columbia and Windsor International Airport in Ontario, Canada. Transport Canada, which regulates airports in Canada, blasted the breach, saying it disrupted operations and scared passengers. A federal grand jury indicted Jonathan Rinderknecht on 2 additional federal charges. That's the man accused of starting the Palisades fire. Those charges including 1 count of arson affecting property using an interstate commerce and 1 count of timber setting a fire. He was facing 1 charge related to the January fire that decimated the Pacific Palisades area and killed 12 people. A 29-year-old made his initial appearance in an Orlando federal court last week. He'll appear in front of a judge in Los Angeles soon. If convicted on all the charges that he's facing, he could get up to 45 years in prison. Investigators have now used rapid DNA technology to identify some of the victims killed in last Friday's explosives plant blast in Tennessee. Authorities confirm they've identified 14 of the 16 people killed at Accurate Energetic Systems. Officials are using rapid DNA analysis. That's a portable system that can develop a DNA profile from family samples in less than 2 hours without needing a lab. There were no survivors inside the facility. The cause of that blast is now under investigation. We'll be right back with a look at that interview with head coach Pat Kelsey. The CEO of the Muhammad Ali Center is now stepping down from his position. The departure was announced yesterday. Devon Holt was named as the Ali Center president and CEO in July of 2024. His last day at the center will be Friday, October 24th. Lonnie Ali, the co-founder and wife of Muhammad Ali, will be appointed as chairman and will also serve as the interim president and CEO. Well, after coming over from the College of Charleston in March of 2024 to leading U of L to an NCAA tournament appearance, Pat Kelsey has described this past year as a whirlwind, and I think fans would agree it has been a good whirlwind. Now he says he's finally settled in, so our sports reporter Dusty Baker met with him to talk about how his journey has led him to where he is today.
When you started this revival, I think one of the most fascinating things to watch is everybody in the crowd wearing those glasses right there. What was that like for you? Did that
Crazy.
Was it a shock to you?
It really took off to the point where, like, I wanted to get a little versatile and tried another frame. And people start being like, Coach, what are you doing? You can't wear those. That's not your glasses.
Those glasses now recognized anywhere Pat Kelsey turns in his new home city, a city which he now says feels like home.
You go into this new season, you have your home. What does it feel like to call Louisville your home for good?
Last year was a whirlwind. One of the most exciting, exhilarating years of my life. Our feet are firmly planted on the ground in this town. And it's been great. The city's been welcoming. My kids are happy in their schools. My wife has her friends in the neighborhood. She knows what grocery store she goes to.
As a father of three, the move to Louisville did come with some personal challenges.
You know, I moved two teenage girls from Charleston, and teenage girls moving from their friends and their friend groups. That's always difficult. Being here now, seeing the smile on their faces, happy, having really close friends groups, that makes you feel really good.
Kelsey saying his faith has helped keep him centered as he's made his transition into his role at U of L.
Well, the first thing I am before anything else is I'm a Christian, and I'm a son of my Savior, Lord Jesus Christ in heaven. That's where I'm centered. That's where I'm grounded.
And while Kelsey is now settled in Louisville, he says he will not settle for anything less than his ultimate goal this upcoming season.
What is your ultimate goal personally this upcoming year?
We all know what outcome we want to achieve. And you want to win it all. You want to win a national championship. Like, who doesn't? That's the expectations here. We have the resources to do it. As long as I can stay focused on my team, daily practice, the daily process, not get caught up with noise, stay connected throughout the year with the Lord, and help this team become the best version of itself. And we become the best version of this team that it could possibly be. Nothing's off the table.
And we are so excited to see how the Cards turn out this season because they are ranked number 11 right now in the preseason AP poll. So great, huge expectations for them. And we'll get our first look at the team next Friday when they take on Kansas at the Yum Center in their first exhibition game. So it'll be a challenge for them. We'll see if they rise to it. Well, that's all the time we have here for Sunrise Extra. I will actually be off tomorrow, so I will not be here with you for Sunrise Extra on your Friday. So I'll go ahead and tell you right now, I hope you have a great weekend ahead. Get out there and enjoy the beautiful weather, and then stay on top of those weather alerts on Sunday because we do have an alert day issued for you. So make sure you download that Wave Weather app. Have a great weekend.
Inspector General Ed Harness to discuss the office, his first term, and our future working together. Today, I'm pleased to announce that I am nominating Inspector General Ed Harness for a second term here in Louisville Metro government. Inspector General Harness, I'd like to say a few words. Please join me.
Thank you, Mayor Greenberg, for entrusting me with this vital role. I also want to thank Deputy Mayor Mayton for her steadfast counsel throughout this time. And also I want to thank Deputy Chief Staff, Mr. Kaplan. Thank you very much. I also want to thank the members of the Civilian Review and Accountability Board, both those past and present. Thank you to the OIG staff who spends hours watching body cameras, interviewing folks, reaching hard conclusions sometimes, doing exhaustive research, looking at data, and providing the product that allows me to stand here today. Thank you to our ombudsman, who is a critical piece for our public outreach. Thank you to the community, the members of the community that lifted their voices in support of the OIG and our operations and the work that we've done. Moving forward, we've been in contact with the monitoring team, and we will meet to discuss with them how we will fulfill our obligation in the community. Also, in 2026, we look forward to hosting the National Association for Civilian Oversight of Law Enforcement annual conference here in Louisville. There'll be hundreds of oversight professionals scouring the streets of Louisville, probably maybe sipping some bourbon and doing some other things, but peers getting together, networking to provide oversight of law enforcement. Let me conclude by saying this. A community is a group of people bound by a common purpose. Our purpose is a safe and prosperous Louisville. Constitutional policing creates a safer Louisville. I pledge every day to work toward a safer Louisville for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ed. Before we open it up to the media for some questions, I just want to echo one of the things that Ed just remarked on, to thank the community. Thank the community for their input during this process. Thank the community for their involvement as we continue to work together to improve public safety and to improve the relationships between all of us at Louisville Metro government and the community, to improve the relationships between LMPD. Thank you, Councilwoman Hawkins, for your efforts to bring the community together. Thank you, Bishop Lyons, for what you do every Friday morning at the Bishop's table to bring in law enforcement, the community, and other parts of Louisville Metro government together. I want to thank everybody that has been a part of that. And just also one other administrative update is that as a result of Deputy Mayor James's departure from the administration and becoming sheriff, we've moved a couple of things around internally. And the Office of Inspector General will now be reporting to our Executive Director for Community Safety, Misty Wright, as part of some of our internal reorganization efforts that are in the process of happening this week. So I know that Misty looks forward to working with Ed in its continued capacity as we move forward to all work together to improve public safety in so many different ways. Again, congratulations, Ed. Look forward to working with you for another term. Look forward to working with the community in its entirety on these efforts as we work to improve public safety, improve accountability, and restore that trust and relationships that we all want for our entire community when it comes to these issues. Thank you all very much, and happy to take some questions from members of the media. Berto. Sure. Well, I thought one of the things I thought was important following our conversation and just thinking about where we are as a city is that we're making a lot of steps in the right direction. We're making significant improvements every day. We're making improvements in reducing the amount of violent crime. And I also feel like we're making improvements as we re-strengthen relationships between the community and law enforcement, between the community and Louisville Metro government and other leaders. And so I thought, let's keep, continuity was important. Ed and his team at the Office of Inspector